Good morning, my peoples. Today, back with part 2 of that first time home buyers series. And today we're going to discuss the loan and pre-approval breakdown. I'm sure a lot of you loan officers are definitely like this. So real quick, let's kind of talk about this. Before you fall in love with a house, do yourself a favor and get a solid pre-approval. Without your shopping blind. You don't know what you can afford. You might get into a house you can't afford. You might be able to afford more house. So please do that. So let's talk about pre-approval versus pre-qualification. So pre-qualification is a quick estimate, usually something online. They get back with you and give you that pre-qualification based on the information that they have. Pre-approval is when the lender actually says we're willing to loan you up to X. And a lot of times when you purchase a new home, you're going to want that pre-approval to go with that contract. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit as far as what a lender usually looks at. And I know we talked about some of this yesterday as well, but income. So like I said, usually 2 years is ideal. Pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns of self-employed. And I know that's a solid 2 years that they need that on self-employment, because we run across that all the time since we're self-employed. Any kind of debt that you may have, credit cards, loans on cars, student loans, etc. And then they use they may use the acronym DTI, which is debt to income ratio. And they're basically checking to see how much house you can afford. So they're going to break that down for you as well. And again, your credit score, look at your credit score. It's definitely going to make a difference on your credit score as far as what your interest rates could be, what type of loans, which we'll talk about in a second, you can get as well. You don't need perfect credit, but the better it is, usually the better the payment is as far as interest rates are concerned. So let's talk a little bit about the different type of loans that are available out there. You got the FHA loan. I know some of you have heard that. Sorry, that was my shoe. That's for great for the first time home buyers, but not perfect credit, and a lot of times a lower down payment. And we'll discuss that myth here in a minute. A USDA loan is pretty big for our area. A lot of times it's 0% down to qualify, but it is going to be a little bit tougher on some homes as far as USDA, because they are a little stricter on their rules and as far as what type of house it is and what kind of shape it's in as well. So then you got a VA loan, and that's for your veterans and your active duty military. And a lot of times they're 0% down with great terms. The only thing I say about a VA loan is watch those front-loaded costs that come in the VA loans. A lot of times they load that thing up in the front. So, and a conventional loan is when somebody has stronger credit. It's very flexible, it's very common, and if you can get in a conventional loan, that's pretty good and makes your offer a lot stronger as well. So if you have any questions or anything about any of those type of loans, Robert the Realtor knows quite a bit about them and has several different loan officers that I work with that can get you that information a lot quicker too. So pre-approval checklist, get your pen and paper ready. Last 2 pay stubs, last 2 years of W-2s and income. Tax returns, sorry. Last 2 to 3 months of bank statements, and they may ask you for that again if it takes a little while to get the pre-approval. Info on debt, so any type of car notes, student loans, credit cards, any type of debt, etc., and a photo ID. And then, so make sure you get all that taken care of and put together. A couple little myths that I'm going to bust real quick. Myth: I need 20% down. That's not always true. Most of the time, first-time homeowners especially, you can get a 3 to 5 or even 0% down. Okay, and then the other myth we hear is my credit isn't perfect, so I can't buy. Perfect credit isn't required. The key is talking to the lender early, so you know where you stand and what you work on. Again, knowing what kind of house you can afford. Okay, so before you start looking for those homes, get a hold of us here at RealtorHIG Realty Group, powered by EXP. Me or Scott will be more than happy to help you and walk you through that, and we can go through this together. Don't let all that kind of information scare you. That's what your realtors are supposed to do. So let us know how we can make your first time home buying process simple. Greatly appreciate it, guys. Robert the Realtor.